What's up, y'all? I'm Jasmine Claypool.
And I'm Miles Bullock.
And we are the hosts of The Last Word Show.
Where it's not about how you start,
it's how you finish.
Amen.
Yes.
And today we are talking about multiculturalism.
Yeah, we're getting a little serious today. We're going to switch it up. We're switching it up.
This is a little delicate.
It's a little heavy.
You know what I mean?
It's a little heavy.
So like today we're going to talk about living as being a bicultural, multicultural human being. Maybe some of the challenges that you face, some of the preconceived notions about you, and everything that comes with balancing this.
Yeah, it's going to be real heavy today.
Absolutely.
And with that being said, I have the beautiful Erin Fuller here with us today.
Hi.
Absolutely. Where eyes have the magnanimous Ryan Alexander Holmes. You like that word?
Yeah,
that was good.
Yeah, that was.
Absolutely.
SAT.
Come on, yeah.
SAT.
We have a vocabulary.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
All right.
Well, let's just jump right in. So
Absolutely.
what exactly are you guys'
What's
nationalities?
your mix-ups?
So I'll start. I am white and black.
Okay.
All right, Ryan.
I am Chinese and Afro-American.
Wow.
There we go.
That's wow.
There we go.
Oh, you
Okay.
didn't know that?
I did
Well, now
not
you
know.
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, I mean, so with that being said, what was your upbringing like? Like, how was it growing up, and what exactly was that like to have those two cultures in your household?
It was interesting. My dad's African American and my mother is an immigrant. She's from Taiwan.
Oh, wow.
And I grew up with sort of my Chinese side. My whole black side lives in Jacksonville, Florida. So growing up,
Deep South.
growing up,
Yeah,
I grew up
South
as a Chinese man. But I look like this.
Yeah.
So I was not a Chinese man.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yes.
You were, but they couldn't see you as that.
No, and I grew up with Chinese people. Like I grew up in San Marino,
Oh,
which
wow.
is like 70% Chinese and 30% white, and 0.1% black.
So like for a long time, there was the black side of you was being almost neglected or pushed to the side.
Yeah, but I would say that my dad made it very, very clear that I was black, and he taught me what it meant to really be black.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like
That's
taught me
important.
about
That's
Malcolm
really
X and Muhammad Ali. And
That's very important.
all
yeah.
that stuff. Yeah.
What about you, Erin? How was growing up
So
for you?
I grew up in a household with both parents. My mom is white and my dad is black, and I feel like I grew up in like a split like household. Like you have things that I did with my mom, such as like the ballet and the opera, and she made sure that I was cultured in that way, or people might consider that like, oh, white people only do that, even though now black people are starting to do that more and more, and they were probably doing it back then, but it wasn't as publicized
Right,
as
of
it
course.
is now. And then with my dad being black, and my dad is actually fair skinned, so a lot of people would also consider him mixed, even though he's completely black.
Which is another thing.
That's another thing,
Absolutely.
another layer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, another layer
on top of that.
another layer. But yeah, grew up with, both parents. For example, with my mom, she would start counting down like 1, 2. My dad would open his mouth to like say 1, and I knew what time
What
it
time?
was.
Right.
It was
Like,
it
Like
was
with
two
your dad,
different
it was like immediate. Do you,
Out.
like that was? Did you find the same thing?
Oh
Like
my
with,
God, he's the scariest human being that I know.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
that's amazing. Okay, and then even like taking a step back, how do you, when somebody asks you, what is your nationality, or how do people usually approach that? With what is your mix? Like, what are you mixed with?
Yeah,
like,
that's
is
the
there a
stupidest
preference?
question. I hate
Is
that.
there a
I
preference to
personally
how
hate
you
that.
want
What
to
you
be
mixed
asked this, or like, what is that?
I don't have any preference. Like however they ask me is how they ask me, and like, because I love talking about.
So it's like, what you got in you?
That's prideful.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
like, what are you mixed with? What are you mixed? I don't know why I'm doing that voice.
It's totally
What are
fine.
you mixed with? And I'm always like, guess.
Yeah.
And they never guess right.
Right.
Ever.
What's the guess you get?
Puerto Rican,
Puerto Rican.
Brazilian,
Like you're a Boricua, huh?
Costa Rican.
Ah.
But I'm
No.
like,
What do you get? Do you get that? What's
So people don't like. Sometimes they'll ask, but most black people think that I'm just Creole or full
Okay.
black or whatever. But white people and other people, they're like, oh, you have black in you. But I get Latin a lot. People
Yeah.
speak to me in Spanish instinctively a lot.
Oh wow. That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
Yo, funny story is when I was in Costa Rica, is the most at home I've ever felt because they just spoke Spanish to me. I felt at home there, more so than I feel in America. More so than when I lived in China, I didn't feel at home there.
Right.
Wow.
Who's this black?
Were they taking pictures of you in China?
They touched my hair.
I was gonna say like you're
Pictures of me,
probably
hold my hand, and
you're probably like something that they've never seen before.
Speaking of hair, I have like a weird story, and this is gonna also lead into a question. So one time I was in New Jersey, I was at Walmart. This is when I first like cut my hair, black girl magic type. My curls was popping, and there's this white woman there, and you could tell that she had mixed kids with her. And so I'm walking down Walmart, and I'm in the hair aisle, and I'm looking at my stuff, and this lady is just everywhere I'm going, like she's right here, like everywhere I'm at, everything I'm touching, she's touching. At that point, I was just like, so can I help you with something? Like, are you okay? And she literally had to ask me like, hey, like my girl's hair is like yours, and I don't know how to do it. Can you please like whatever you're getting, like can you please educate me? And I felt bad. No offense, I did look at the kids and I was just like, yeah, they need some help.
Damn.
So I literally was in there teaching her. Like I was in Walmart in the aisle telling her like, you have to overly moisturize, you have to hold
But
it.
kudos on her though. Kudos on her for even like being able to like to have the courage to step
say
up and be
that.
like, listen, I don't, because I think that's something that maybe a lot of people may not even be willing to accept that they don't know.
Absolutely, and I want to thank you for being that person because someone was that person for my mother because my mother had no clue what to do with my hair. Every morning was an argument or a fight trying to get through brushing and combing through my hair, and I'll never forget the first time I got my hair blown out and my hair was moving and I was like, ooh, this is great.
Right.
The next morning, my mom sprayed like hairspray on my hair.
She stiffened it straight up.
Well, she used
water.
She used the water-based hairspray on my hair, and it literally frizzed up.
Bang, bang, bang.
And that was it. So like, but that's all that she knew. That's what she would do to her hair. And so she didn't know necessarily how to care for my hair. But luckily she brought in a team of black women to care for my hair, literally. My godmother would do my hair on Saturdays. My mom would leave it in my hair till Thursday.
It takes a village.
And then take it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I mean, and with those type of like little nuances, like what was that like? Like, did you have those type of experiences where other experiences like with you being like Chinese and all of that, like
all the time.
yeah,
Still have them.
wow.
When I got braids for the first time, like cornrows, that just didn't last a day. They were just like, hey, what is that? Did you cut it like that? Hey, come here. Hey, how you doing? Hey, let me touch it. It was just like, oh, fuck, this costs $45. I'm 12 years old. $45 is a lot of money for me, and now I can't, okay.
Yeah.
You're mixed, right?
Yes.
Are you mixed?
Yes, I am mixed. My mom, she's Creole and Native American, and my dad's black. So I just feel like I'm just black, you know.
Wait, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you not like being asked if you're mixed or?
I don't actually.
Why?
I actually
I wanna
can't.
know why.
I actually can't stand that question. It's just one of those like, oh, what you mixed with? Like, black. There's nothing like that's just. I don't know. I guess I'm just really. I don't want to say that I'm like shameful of being light skinned, but to me, I just feel like I don't want you to even ask me. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Do you feel like there's a stigma attached to it? Do you feel like there's a stigma attached? Okay, now we're talking about colorism a little bit.
Yeah,
right?
we're gonna
So,
dive straight in. Yeah, let's go.
Do we feel like there's a stigma attached to your tone? Are you too dark? Not dark enough? What has that experience been?
Absolutely, especially in specifically the black community. I was somewhere the other day and somebody was like, who's this white girl belong to? And I'm like,
Whoa.
who are they talking about? And it was me.
They called you a white girl?
That's what.
And I was shocked.
I mean, you are.
I mean, yeah, I'm half. But I fully say like I'm a mixed woman who
100%.
identifies as a black woman.
Yeah.
Like if you ask me, I'll tell you that I'm mixed. But for the most part, I identify as being a black woman because A, that is how the world sees me, and that's what I feel most comfortable being around. I feel more comfortable being around black people than white.
Do you find yourself ever standing up for the multi of yourself, right? The other side of yourself, like, because if you do identify primarily as a black woman, do you ever find yourself being like, well, I am white too?
I mean, occasionally, but like, no.
Yeah, that's so
I mean,
interesting.
that's so
Huge
interesting.
smile on your face. No.
No.
No, I mean, I think that's so interesting. I think that it speaks to a lot.
Yeah,
it speaks to a lot.
it goes deeper because
Absolutely.
that side of my family did not accept my parents' union.
I was literally about to ask that. I was literally about to
being
ask
married as a multiracial couple in
Yeah.
the 60s.
Yeah.
So because I wasn't accepted by my white side, it's almost like I then fully identify as black.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's deep. That's
so
deep and profound.
That's so deep, and it's so real, and it makes so much sense, especially when you think about the division of the races and just the stigma that it wasn't even allowed. Like the union to create you wasn't even allowed just 60 years ago, 65, 67.
Wow.
Like
Yeah.
Right.
it wasn't long ago that wasn't even able to happen
Yeah.
legally.
Yeah.
Right.
Let alone start being accepted. So it's very young. It's
So
very young.
do you feel like that kind of affected your upbringing and how you
Absolutely.
grew up, like a little bit in some way?
What do you mean by that?
I mean, just in sense of,
Like
do you feel like culturally, do you feel like you have like animosity a little bit, and do you feel like a little heaviness towards that other side?
Absolutely.
Do you feel the same, Ryan? Do you have a similar?
It's to me, it's interesting to hear that because to me, I'm always talking about multiculturalism. Yes, I do feel most comfortable around black people, but I also feel really comfortable around Chinese people, but they don't accept me though, you know? And so I always feel like I have to prove it to them by like wearing stuff like this. And speaking Chinese to them.
Yeah.
But it's crazy to me that I always have to prove it.
Yeah.
Like I have to speak Chinese.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you speak Chinese? I'm like, yeah, I'm Chinese.
Yeah.
That's why I speak
You're like,
Chinese.
no, where is
No
it?
way.
Let me find it.
How do you
Ridiculous.
know?
I mean, so how do you deal with dating in those type of situations?
Absolutely.
Like, is it, you know, like
Is it
how?
black women,
It's
Chinese
crazy.
women, white men, black
Black men.
men.
It's
Black
crazy.
men, black men,
Yeah.
black
That's it in that song.
That's it.
I feel
we're done with
That's
that.
it in that
We're done
song.
with
For
that.
me, I also want, I mean, number one is probably a Blasian, another Blasian. Haven't met a lot.
Okay. So like,
Bla-
like a
Blasian is
Karuchi. Like a
for those
Karuchi.
who don't know, Blasian is half Asian, half black. Blasian.
Yes.
It's a very nifty way to put it together. Okay, continue, Ryan.
I would want someone who understands what it's like to be
Yeah.
multiple cultures
Yeah.
Yeah.
and to be raised in multiple cultures.
Yeah.
Because also my family is it's like the UN. We
Yeah.
got white people up in there. We got Chinese, Japanese,
Yeah.
black,
it's a
all
lot.
shades of black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
So you need somebody who can be
yeah.
almost everywhere.
Yeah, because and I say like I'm comfortable with Chinese people and black people, but like I'm most comfortable when it's like super multicultural. But there's representation from everybody, because that's how I was raised.
Have either of you felt pressure from either side to be more of that side?
No.
No.
When you say no, like, do you mean you didn't get pressure from your white side to be like more white?
How can I be more white? Look at me.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
how could I be the way that I speak?
yeah.
Or what I'm into,
Yeah.
the music
But
I listen
also,
to. Like,
but what identifies as being white though?
Right.
What does like
Like, I
what?
feel like-
That's a whole nother
I get it.
conversation.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's just like
That's a whole
it's
nother
like
conversation right there.
yes.
Because then we're talking about a lot of cultural
We're
appropriation.
talking about
Yeah.
we're talking about culture. Like for me to be more Chinese, it's like I listen to Mando pop, which is Chinese pop music. Or
Okay.
Sing us a song. Sing us a song real quick. I just
Don't,
want to hear.
don't do it.
I
Just
can't.
come on.
Don't do it.
Can't,
Don't do
can't
it.
do it off the top of the dome.
Maybe.
I might, when we keep
Maybe
talking,
we'll
I just start singing.
Okay. So that's the horn. So what that means is that we've been talking about it for too long.
Yeah, we wrapping this up. We
We're
have
wrapping
to.
this up. Yeah,
it's-
we're wrapping it up.
I feel like we really dove into some deep stuff and dealing. We obviously see like dealing with it in different cultures and different sides
Yeah.
and different scenarios. Like essentially, kind of, you guys have the same experiences and having to deal with those.
Absolutely.
Double side,
And
yeah.
what is something, if you had to leave people with something that you wanted them to understand about what it is to be a multicultural human, or what would that be for you?
Give us your final thoughts.
Yeah, just a quick little synopsis
Little
of bang.
final thoughts.
Take this.
my final thought is I have the best of both worlds.
Yeah, yeah. My final thought is just love yourself, no matter what you are. Honestly.
Absolutely.
Wow, that was
Even if you're
beautiful.
somebody like me who's not asked if I'm mixed. Yeah, it's good. I'm black. I like it. I'm in love with myself.
Yes. Yes.
Well, that was the last word.
So that was a great show, you guys. Thank you
that was amazing.
to our wonderful guests.
Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. Thank you,
you.
Ryan. We appreciate y'all. Like, oh, shit.
There you go.
Thanks.
That's what that means.
Yes.
All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in to the Last Word Show, where it's not about how you start,
It's how you finish.
And make sure you link into all of our social medias. Our social medias.
Follow us.
Follow us.
Get in the conversation.
Look at us.
We'll see you later.
Blessings.